we've spent so long in the past 10, 20 years trying to find evidence for water, and it's been tantalizing, it's always been hinted at. We've seen the previous water flows, we've seen the ice, but we've never found that liquid water. And then we saw those plots from that ground base, from that radar, from the Mars Express, showing what equivalently is this ocean underneath the ice cap. It's not only astounding, but it's remarkable that in the past 10, 20 years in our process of studying of Mars, we're now to this point where, yes, there is an ocean on Mars right now.
Right now, and what is the significance of that?
So look, when we look for life here on Earth, we trace it with water. And so water has always been this key because that's what we need for life. So that's always been, yes, there's lots of other ways life may or may not exist, but the most simplest way is around water. And so that's kind of been this key. And one of the interesting things is even though this is under the crust, the ice cap of Mars, we've done experiments in Antarctica, in like Lake Vostok, where this deep ocean underneath the crust of Antarctica, and scientists have found evidence for microbacteria in a place where not even sunlight reaches. So it's not naive to think that something very similar to what we have here on Earth could also have other similar conditions like hosting life.
And exploration will continue, and questions as to whether this is an isolated body of water, Brad, or something, a part of an interconnected underground reservoir system.
That's right. So, we're just on the cusp of using this technology to explore what's underneath the surface. And in fact, things like Mars Insight, which is a mission that should land later in November, will be mapping what's underneath the terrain across a large swath part of Mars. It's just because something's not on the surface doesn't mean there's more bubbling beneath the surface, so to speak. So it's an exciting time. And now, for future missions, which are actively being planned of where should we land them to explore, we have a giant bullseye now that says this is where we need to go.
Huge bullseye. So we are one step closer to there possibly being life on Mars, Brad, than we were this time yesterday.
That's right. And just a couple months ago, we were talking about, potential evidence for, carbon life forms or things that could turn into life. So every time we do a different experiment on Mars, that is the building blocks for life or where could host life, the answer always is astoundingly yes, that is true and that's what's going on. So this is why we put so much effort into Mars, because not only is it close and easy to get to, but in its past history, we know it's very similar to Earth. So just because there might not be life here now, there's definitely the possibility of life in the past, but the evidence for life being here now just increases with time. And so it's exciting to think what we're going to discover next year.